What a crazy turn of events it has been the last 48 hours. If you would have told me Trent Baalke would be out as general manager, the Jaguars would then hire Liam Cohen, I would have told you you are absolutely crazy. Shad Khan finally came to his senses and realized that the Jaguars need to pivot and move in a different direction. I made my frustration video just a couple of weeks ago talking about why the Jaguars let go of Doug Peterson, why they retained Trent Baalke, and how that was one of the most idiotic decisions that the team and the organization could have made. And like I said, Shad Khan finally came to his senses. They now hire Liam Cohen, the former Buccaneers and Rams offensive coordinator, as the new Jaguars head coach. And this Jaguars team is finally moving in a different direction. I could not be more thrilled to have Liam Cohen here as the next head coach of this team. We're going to get into all of that, but I do just want to say first and foremost, if you're in here watching this video and you guys are still finding a way to continue to support me, I thank you for that, because I said it once and I will say it yet again. I continue to miss you guys. I continue missing doing Jaguars coverage. I'm not here to stay long term, but there was big news a couple of weeks ago with Peterson getting fired. I wanted to voice my opinion. We obviously hire our new head coach. I want to voice my opinion. I've been in the Jaguars circle and content creation era really since Urban Meyer and since we drafted Trevor Lawrence. So occasionally, if I have a moment, I want to pop my head in and just say hello. But let's go ahead and talk about Liam Cohen again and just kind of this whole situation, how it transpired. After the Jaguars had said that they were going to retain Trent Baalke, they continued to go through their head coaching search. Obviously, they had guys like Ben Johnson at the top of their list. It seems like Robert Saleh was a perfect name out there. And then they had other names like Aaron Glenn, obviously Liam Cohen. The list goes on. But we all knew that Baalke was going to be an impediment for the Jaguars in order to get their head coaching search. Ben Johnson clearly would not work with the organization under the leadership of Trent Baalke. Obviously, Liam Cohen did not like Trent Baalke. And this was something that we all saw. It was written on the wall, and Shad Khan was reluctant to do it. But after Liam Cohen pulled his name out of the search, and all of us Jags fans were just left wondering, who the hell are we going to hire afterwards? Liam Cohen agrees verbally with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that he is going to stay with the Buccaneers on a long-term agreement as a contract extension with the Buccaneers to remain their offensive coordinator. And overnight, Shad Khan is texting him, trying to get him back into the building, sends the jet to Liam Cohen in Tampa Bay, flies him back to Jacksonville, and the Buccaneers have absolutely zero communication with Liam Cohen and his family, his reps. And it was just the wildest turn of events. I have not seen this in quite some time. And now the Jaguars get Liam Cohen in here. They give him Ben Johnson level money from multiple sources, and he's now going to be the long-term coach here in Jacksonville. I really couldn't be any more ecstatic. Like, we all understand how this news works. And for me, Liam Cohen can quote-unquote struggle in his first year as a head coach, right? There's always going to be an adjustment period. He obviously comes from the Sean McVay tree, so I do expect him to come in and just really make this offense explosive, like we saw with Baker Mayfield having a career season last year, like we saw with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers being one of the most prolific offenses in the game of football. But where I get extremely excited with Liam Cohen, his leadership, his obviously knowledge of the game and his skill set, is the fact that he got Trent Baalke fired. The leverage that he utilized, not only for himself to get paid and to become a head coach with weapons, but he was able to leverage himself and make himself such a hot commodity that Shad Khan had no other option but to fire Trent Baalke, come to his senses, realize that nobody wanted to work with him, and that his only option was to come in and get this offensive mastermind in Liam Cohen. That within and itself should put him in the pride of the Jaguars. This is probably the biggest moment in Jags history since our 27-0 comeback in the wild card round against the Chargers, or maybe even Frank Gore getting that first down. Frank Gore should be in the pride of the Jaguars, and so should Liam Cohen. I just cannot believe what a wild turn of events this is. I know I kind of keep running back in circles, but it just doesn't feel real. And I also do want to address one more thing. We did see the reports that Liam Cohen had told Todd Bowles, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that, his child was sick, and that a lot of people were taking that as a lie. And people were saying that Liam Cohen was deliberately lying to Todd Bowles in order to have a secret meeting in Jacksonville, when that was not the case, because Liam Cohen's wife actually came out and did say that they were in the hospital with their sick child. And obviously, I hope everything's okay with their child. I hope everything's okay with their family. But don't just read a report and run with it. Understand the dynamics of it. These are real people with real life situations. And clearly there was something bigger going on outside of just the job search for the Jaguars and their head coaching position. But want to take a moment to welcome Liam Cohen, his wife, his child, and his family to the city of Jacksonville. You are going to get the Marissa Lawrence treatment, the way that the city shows love to Marissa Lawrence, and the way that we've just kind of rallied around her. That's exactly what we're going to be doing with Liam Cohen, his wife, and his family. So just want to take a moment to welcome them. But let's go ahead and really talk about what Liam Cohen has accomplished. He was with Kentucky, the Wildcats. I believe he was their offensive coordinator for 2 years, worked underneath Sean McVay as an offensive coordinator, and spent last season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like I said, making this one of the most prolific offenses in the game of football. Statistically speaking, the Buccaneers offense under Liam Cohen last year, they ranked third in total yards, yards per game, passing yards, and passing yards per game. They ranked fourth in rushing yards per game, total points, and total points per game. Having gone through and seeing some of the clips in the film, and of course just happening to watch a couple of Buccaneers games last year, when I had the opportunity, this was one of the most explosive offenses in the game of football for a reason. And I am truly excited to see how he's going to unlock Trevor Lawrence and his potential. We know Trevor Lawrence the last 2 seasons towards the bottom half of the season has continued to deal with injuries. Obviously last year we saw Mac Jones at the tail end of the season. But having a healthy Trevor Lawrence, and it starts in the trenches, and then having an offensive mastermind who can actually unlock his full potential and really get Trevor Lawrence to be playing the level of football that we know he is capable of playing, it's going to do wonders for this team, and that's what Shad Khan prioritized. And I'm grateful Shad Khan finally came to his senses and just realized this team is going to be nothing without Trevor Lawrence. You have to prioritize your franchise quarterback who you paid, and you have to make sure he's in the best position to be successful. And that's exactly what this hire is going to do. Now, that does leave a vacancy with the general manager position. We don't know who is going to be, general manager as of right now. Liam Cohen will be involved in that search, and rightfully so. A lot of names have been thrown out there, including Tony Boselli. I have my reservations about Tony Boselli. There's good things I love about him, some things I don't necessarily love about him. Great guy personally. Not sure if I would want Tony as our actual general manager. Topic and conversation for another day. Nonetheless, I do believe that the head coach and the general manager need to be able to see eye to eye, work in unity, and to be able to get this ship sailing in the right direction, because there is plenty of talent on this team. The Jaguars are not bereft of talent, especially with young up-and-coming talent. And that is one thing that you can definitely say that a head coach would want to feel desirable with the Jaguars. It's not just the talent on the team, but also Shad Khan is a patient owner. He allows general managers and coaches to coach, to manage the team. Here's all the money and capital you need. Go out and spend it. You guys do the work. Well, I'm going to build you guys brand new state-of-the-art practice facilities with the Miller Electric Center. I'm going to build you guys a stadium of the future that's going to be coming in 2026 or 2027. As much inept, faults that Shad Khan has as his moment, and he does have his faults, he's a very, quote-unquote, good operational owner. He does make sure that his coaches and his managers have everything that they need, and that's something I can definitely give him credit for. But just kind of getting back to the actual on-field side of things, the Jaguars are not bereft of talent. Liam Cohen has everything to work with this organization, with a young franchise quarterback who's ascending. You've got 2 very good running backs, and hopefully the other one can finally get back on track in Etienne and Bigsby. You've got Evan Ingram. You've got Brenton Strange, who actually looks like a solid and young, productive tight end who might be coming into his own. And then you've still got weapons on the outside. You've got an all-pro level receiver in Brian Thomas. You got Christian Kirk coming back off injury. Parker Washington continues to ascend. And then you're going to have draft capital and flexible money with the number 5 overall pick, money to spend in free agency. You've got pieces on defense in Tyson Campbell, Josh Hines-Allen, Trayvon Walker, Foye Oluokun, Devin Lloyd. The list goes on. There's so much potential with this team. You would love to see what Liam Cohen, the next general manager, is also going to be able to bring to this team. There's a lot to be excited about here in Jacksonville. I'm excited to watch this team. I'm finally not nearly as pissed off as I once was at Shad Khan just 48 hours ago for, like I said, him finally coming to his senses. But I definitely speak for all of us when I say that we are excited to have Liam Cohen here. We're excited to see how the direction of this team can continue to change. The coaching staff the last 2 years under Doug Peterson, Press Taylor, just wasn't doing a good enough job. We saw the faults. We saw how just lackluster and lackadaisical the team looked. It really felt like they lost the locker room, and hopefully Liam Cohen can establish a new type of leadership with that young mindset that can hopefully get Trevor Lawrence and this team moving in the right direction. That's all I want to say for this video. I just wanted to pop my head in back for a few minutes and just kind of deliver my initial thoughts about what I expect from Liam Cohen, what my reaction was, and how I just want to see this team continue to progress moving forward. It's a happy day in Duval. I know Tampa fans are pissed, but you know what? I'm selfish. I want to see my team do good. I want to see my organization do good. And I know the community of Jacksonville is feeling extremely excited. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, I do appreciate each and every single one of you guys continuing to support me and continuing to show love to me. Even though I'm not consistent here anymore because it's not my responsibility to be making content here on YouTube covering the Jags anymore. I still miss you guys. I still love you guys. And I'm grateful that, I can spend a little bit of quality time with you guys during this time with Liam Cohen as the next head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So thank you again. And like always, you guys, go Jags.